Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about how I think every VCT EMEA team could win Champions. Now, as I said for my Americas video, some of these are going to be a bit of a stretch, especially for the last three teams being FUT, Navi, and Giants. Um, but I'm going to try to spin it in a way that can maybe make it seem like they could win. But obviously I would never predict either of those three teams to win, even if they made a final. So Uh, yeah, let me guys know what you think in the comments below. I'm going to be doing a lot more content for champs. I got one or two more of these videos to go for both Pacific and China. And then after that, I got my top 20 list. And then after that, we have my official kick'ems for all the group stages, which I've already recorded. But all that should be good. I also have a bunch of off-season content coming up with how I would rebuild a bunch of these bad teams. And like just before the season starts, maybe like a month or two, I'm going to be doing a deep dive into every team after their roster moves are made and kind of like power ranking them and telling you guys how I think each roster stacks up against everyone in the world. So make sure to stay tuned for all that content below. Like, subscribe to this video. All that shit really helps out. I don't know why I said shit. That was not necessary, but let's get right into it. So we'll start here with Fnatic, who, I mean, this is the easiest one out of every single team. This team doesn't need anything new. They literally just need or at least three of the players to stay in the form that they're in. I think if one or two of them drop off a little bit, they should be fine to still win the tournament. Or you would want if you want them to lose, you want somebody to take a massive fall off into like some terrible individual form. Uh, Unless it's Boaster, then they're still going to be fine. But yeah, I don't really have a ton to say because this team is likely to win the event. I would genuinely be surprised if they don't. Um, but yeah, I mean, again, don't really have too much to say, so we'll just move on. And then now we have Team Liquid, who this is another team that it's not really hard to see them winning the tournament. But I am a little bit lower on this team just because they're kind of shaky performance uh, at Tokyo. That being said, I mean, some of these things are extremely fixable, um, or extremely possible. I mean, Safe needs to get back in that dominant form that he was in VCT EMEA. Even then, I don't think they need that per se. I think they need him to step up a little bit more than he did at this tournament. But overall, I still think him playing that way should be perfectly fine for this team. Redguard needs to just stop feeding. I mean, like he throws more rounds away than Angel does, and that's saying something. Um, so if they can fix that, maybe put him on Astra a little bit more, and put him on Brim a little bit more, I think that would very much help this team out. Um, just get Nats to continue to feel more comfortable in the Killjoy role, be able to play more of that, kind of conform to the meta a little bit more. Soulcast, he needs to play the way he did in that EMEA final over the course of a tournament, which we really haven't seen from him, but is definitely possible. I'm a lot higher on Soulcast than most other people are, and if he can play up to his potential, uh, he would be a very, very solid piece for this team, and I'd honestly expect them to reach top four if he's playing like that, or I'd say even top three. So yeah, all that in mind, I think they just need to have like a couple pop off performances, and then Redguard to stop absolutely throwing some rounds away, and then I think they should be good to make a deep run, if not win this tournament. And then next up, we're on the FUT, and these are starting to get into like the more stretch uh, ones, but I think this one is the most likely out of the next, or I'd say second most likely out of the next three actually. Um, they need Kiwi to go into God mode, play up to like the best duelist in the world probably. Like maybe around where Safe was playing during EMEA or something like that. Um, they need cracks to like learn more agents, than KO and Gecko, and then also play up to the way he was playing on the KO, which I thought was actually pretty good. It just really limits like what they can do. Um, they need to get much better like mid rounding and like mid game adaptations from Mr. Fallen as an IGL. I think like a lot of their like set play stuff, especially with the KO, is really cool and really good. Um, but I think they need to be more adaptable to actually be able to win a tournament here. Um, and then yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. Uh, like that isn't a long list, but it's a very complicated list. You know, like it's a list that's not going to happen. Um, but I mean, it's possible, just not all in one like lead up to a tournament per se, which is kind of unfortunate because I do really like FUT. Cracks as a player, just the way he plays reminds me a lot of Asuna, who's one of my favorite players to watch. So I really do like him. I just can't see this team being anywhere near like the top of a tournament. They could definitely make it out of groups though, and just I don't want to say prove me wrong because I do think they're like the third best team in that group, but they can definitely do that. And then last up here we have Navi, or not last up, second to last up. But the team earlier that I corrected myself, the most likely out of these bottom three to make a run here. Um, they just need these individuals to really stay in form. I think that's the main thing here. They need to really fix these like man advantage throws that they've had, where they'll be in like a 4v2 and all of a sudden it just goes down to a 1v1. And whether or not they win that 1v1, it's still really bad, especially on gun rounds, because it allows the enemy team both to do a lot more damage to their economy and also like gives them ult orbs as well. Like if you think about it, they just get the kills from that and then also the ult orb from the death. Um, I think they need to keep seeing it on Jet a little bit more. Keep him away from like the Killjoy, the Neon that he was playing, some of the Yoru and the Omen. But I think all that does seem very plausible. They need, as I talked about earlier with Redguard, they need Angel to stop taking so many first duels. Like even if he has some kind of read and it actually like helps this team out, I really just it doesn't give enough to do that. I mean, like doing that doesn't give enough value to warrant throwing away a Smokes player or uh like a Sova's life to do that. Like I think it was in I think it wasn't this game. Okay, I realized I clicked on the wrong game to highlight, but that doesn't matter. It was in the lower finals, the game that qualified them for Tokyo, not for champions, not for Tokyo. I think Angel took something like 23 first duels. It might have been 26, somewhere around that. But just kind of just insane numbers, like stuff that you don't even see from duelist players. So maybe they put him on duelist, but one of my other win cons for them is putting CNUT on Jet, so that really does not work. And then lastly, they just need to stop picking Lotus, man. Just ban it, please. Uh, their Lotus is not good. They run some like weird ass like Brim Sova Neon comp or something like that, which just isn't good. So they need to stop doing that. Keep individuals informed. Put CNUT on Jet, and Angel needs to stop throwing. And then last up here, actually this time, we have Giants, who I think this one is the biggest stretch out of them all. Um, I don't think Giants will finish as the worst EMEA team at the tournament, but I think it's the least likely team to win out of these five. I just think they need one like attribute about this team to be above average at this tournament. I think everything they have is average or below average, and I think that comes out to like one of the lower teams of the tournament. So I think they just need maybe one or two like great to elite qualities about this team to feel good about them maybe being able to make a run at this tournament. I also think they need huge step ups in performance from Loud, from Nookie, and from Fatinho specifically. The other two would be nice, but I think those three are extremely important. I think they need Cloud to play even better than he did in the EMEA. Fatinho, better than he did at LCQ. Even though I think his performance got a little bit overrated at LCQ. I don't think it was amazing or anything, but it was good. And then Nookie to play up to his, I mean, the caliber of player that he is. He is a elite player, just not on Sentinel, which I think kind of hurts this team that their best player is on Sentinel. So other than that, I think they just need like either some weird like meta defining, or I don't even want to say meta defining, but like comp that's going to catch some team off guard. But even then, you're not making a deep tournament run with that. I think you're going to get like into playoffs maybe until it gets anteed. Um, or you need like a map or two that sticks out above the rest. Um, or even like just a weird style of playing, even with the normal comps. So if they get any one of those, or maybe two of them, I think they do have a good shot at making a relatively deep run. But this one's a really big stretch for this team to win a tournament. It's kind of hard to imagine that they would win any tournament without making significant improvements or roster changes. Yeah, so that's the end of the video. Let me guys know what you thought in the comments below. How likely these teams are to be able to win a tournament. Um, and yeah, I mean, most of these teams aren't really going to do too much. I think there's a good chance that Fnatic's the only EMEA team to make it out of groups. Because personally, actually, I'm not gonna give you my pick'ems, but there's a good chance that Fnatic is the only EMEA team in playoffs and also wins the tournament, which would be kind of funny. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought in the comments below. Like, subscribe, stay tuned for my Pacific video, which is next. And then after that, I'll be doing China. So yeah, stay tuned for all that content, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.